Maeve's Series of Husbands, or The Battle of the Boyne. Translation by Matthew Boyd. Ireland was once ruled by a King Ucketh of the seed of Rifid Scott from the Tower of Nimrod, because every wave that invaded Ireland was descended from Rifid, except for Caesarus. He was called Ucketh because he was faithful toward everyone, i.e., that the king treated everyone justly. He had 4 sons. 3 of them were triplets, known as the Fin Emna, the fair undivided ones. They were born at the same time. Their names were Bress, Nar, and Lochar, and they were the ones who conceived Lugath of the 3 red stripes with their own sister, the night before fighting the battle of Druim Craid against their father. The 3 of them were killed there by Ucketh, and Ucketh made the sacred prayer that no son should ever succeed his father in the kingship of Ireland, and that came true. His 4th son was Conall and Glonach, the ancestor of the Connelly among the men of Brega. King Ucketh had several daughters. There was Aelle, wife of Fergal MacMaghach. Brí Aelle in Leinster is named after her. After Fergal, she was the wife of Sraevgrend MacNewell of the Erna, and she bore him a son, Mata Mac Sraevgrend, the father of Aelil MacMata. And there was Mulcain, Prickly Fuzz, wife of Conover, and the mother of Conover's son Glashna. And there was Ithne, another wife of that same Conover, and the mother of Conover's son Forvaid. He was called Forvaid because Forbad means excision, and he was excised or cut from his mother's womb after she drowned in the river Beramain, which is called the Ethne today, the river named after her. And Forvaid's real name was Dermot. And there was Clothru, mother of Conover's son Cormac Conloingis. Alternatively, Cormac's mother was Ness, daughter of Ucketh Swalvitha. And there was Deirbrew, the namesake of the pigs of Deirbrew. And there was Maeve, of Cruacha, another wife of Conover, the mother of Conover's son Amalglad. Conover was Maeve's first husband, until she left him out of pride, and went to stay at Tara with King Ucketh. The reason that King Ucketh had given his daughters to Conover was that he, Ucketh, had killed Conover's father, Factna Fothach, in the battle of Litir Ruad in the Corran, so he handed them over as compensation. He also let Conover seize the kingship of Ulster, as opposed to Clan Ruaraid. So the first cause of the stirring up of the cattle raid of Cuailnge was Maeve's leaving Conover against his will. Tinna, son of Conra Cass, of the Fir Domnan, was the king of Connacht at the time, and Ucketh Dalal and Fithig Fiach of the Gammon raid were laying claim to the kingship. Fithig went to Tara to rally the king in his favour, and he asked Ucketh for Maeve. Tinna got wind of the news and lay ambush for Fithig. They met over the streams of the river Shannon, and Fithig was killed by the children of Conra and Conra's son Monathar. That was the first cause of the war between the children of Conra Cass and the Gammon raid. Ucketh committed a royal injustice against Tinna, driving him into the hinterlands of Connacht and installing Maeve in the royal seat of Cruacha. What actually happened, though, was that Maeve and Tinna kept up a relationship for a long time, and Maeve would host fairs of Ireland at Cruacha, and the sons of kings of Ireland used to be there with her, looking to trade blows in war against Conover's province. And Sraevgrend MacNewell of the Erna and his son Mata came to Maeve, looking to wage war against Conover over every grudge that existed between them. Ucketh held the Feast of Tara, inviting all the provinces of Ireland except Maeve and Tinna. The men of Ireland insisted that Ucketh bring Maeve to the gathering. Ucketh sent Shearbluach, Bitterspeed, his woman messenger, to Cruacha to get her. The next day, Maeve came to Tara, and races were held at the fair for the next 6 weeks. After that, the men of Ireland dispersed. Conover lingered behind the others at the gathering, watching Maeve, and when she happened to go and bathe in the Boyne, Conover came upon her there. He violated her, and had sex with her against her will. When the people in Tara heard about this, the kings of Ireland rose up out of Tara, along with Tinna and Uchathdalla. Other versions say that Uchathdalla had been killed by Tinna prior to that fight, fighting over the kingship of Connacht, but that's not true. The banners of the King of Ireland were raised to attack the King of Ulster, and Tinna, son of Conra, challenged Conover to single combat. Conover accepted, and he happened to have Tinna's brother Mundar Mór, son of Conra, with him at the time. So he told Mundar to go smack down Tinna. Mundar said he would, and they had a bout of champions. Mundar killed Tinna. Everyone said, "What a feat!" And a druid said, "His name will be Machecht forever," and the name stuck. Conover won the Battle of the Boyne against Uchathdalla, and his son died in the process. Uchathdalla kept the fighting going across Meath over the green stream Shannon, and brought Maeve and the Connachtmen safely through, thanks to his fighting prowess, so that no one challenged him from the Boyne to the Shannon. The Fir Domnan, the Dal na Druithi, and the Dal na Ruithni, and the Fir Hrivi, from whom Uchathdalla was descended, came to Cruachan after Tinna's death, because although they had broken up into 3 tribes, they had originally been one and the same, i.e. the descendants of Genin, son of Dil, son of Lu, and their background was Firbolg. What they decided was that the kingship of Connacht should be conferred, with Maeve's consent, on Uchathdalla. Maeve consented, as long as he wasn't jealous, fearful, or stingy, because she had a geis against marrying anyone with those qualities. Uchathdalla became king via that process, and spent a while in Cruachan as Maeve's husband. That was when Ailill, son of Matta, came to Cruachan. He was still a young child at the time, and he had the rest of his siblings with him for Maeve to raise, because of her relationship to him, i.e. her sister was his grandmother. After that, Ailill was raised at Cruachan until he was a heroic fighter in battles and skirmishes, and a tower of strength defending Maeve's province against Conover. He went on to become the head of her household. Maeve loved him for his good qualities, so he married her and became her partner instead of Uchathdalla. This development made Uchat jealous, and made all the Fir Domnan jealous out of sympathy for him. Their plan was to banish Ailill from Connacht, and all the Urna along with him, but Maeve wouldn't let that happen, because she was fonder of Ailill than of Uchat. When Uchat realized she favored Ailill, he challenged him to single combat over the kingdom and the woman. Their fight was brutal, and Uchathdalla was killed thanks to Maeve's trickery. Ailill, with Maeve's consent, assumed the kingship of Connacht after that. He was king of Connacht when Conaire the Great was crowned king of Tara, and at the start of the Táin against the Ulstermen. The Quarrel of the 2 Pig-keepers, and how the bulls were begotten. Translation by Thomas Kinsella. What caused the 2 pig-keepers to quarrel? That is soon told. There was bad blood between Ochel Ochni, the king of the Sidhe in Connacht, and Bothwell, king of the Munster Sidhe. They had 2 pig-keepers, called Freach, after a boar's bristle, and Ruch, after its grunt. Freach was Bothwell's pig-keeper. Rucht was Ochel's, and they were good friends. They were both practiced in the pagan arts, and could form themselves into any shape, like Mongan mac Fiachna. The 2 pig-keepers were on such good terms that the one from the north would bring his pigs down with him when there was a mast of oak and beech nuts in Munster. If the mast fell in the north, the pig-keeper from the south would travel northward. There were some who tried to make trouble between them. People in Connacht said their pig-keeper had the greater power, while others in Munster said it was theirs who had the greater power. A great mast fell in Munster one year, and the pig-keeper from the north came southward with his pigs. His friend made him welcome. "Is it you?" he said. "They are trying to cause trouble between us. Men here say your power is greater than mine." "It's no less, anyway," Ochel's pig-keeper said. "That's something we can test," Bothov's pig-keeper said. "I'll cast a spell over your pigs. Even though they eat this mast, they won't grow fat. Well, mine will." And that's what happened. Ochel's pig-keeper had to bring his pigs away with him so lean and wretched that they hardly reached home. Everyone laughed at him as he entered his country. "It was a bad day you set out," they said. "Your friend has greater power than you." "It proves nothing," he said. "We'll have mast here in our own turn, and I'll play the same trick on him." This also happened. Bothov's pig-keeper came northward the same time next year into the country of Connacht, bringing his lean pigs with him, and Ochel's pig-keeper did the same to them, and they withered. Everybody said then that they had equal power. Bothov's pig-keeper came back from the north with his lean pigs, and Bothov dismissed him from pig-keeping. His friend in the north was also dismissed. After this, they spent 2 full years in the shape of birds of prey. The first year at the fort of Cruachan in North Connacht, and the second year at the Sheath on Femin Plain. One day, the men of Munster had collected together at this place. "Those birds are making a terrible babble over there," they said. "They have been quarreling and behaving like this for a full year now." As they were talking, they saw Fuidal mac Fiadmar, Ochel's steward, coming toward them up the hill, and they made him welcome. "Those birds are making a great babble over there," he said. "You would swear they were the same 2 birds we had back north last year. They kept this up for a whole year." Then they saw the 2 birds of prey turn suddenly into human shape, and became the 2 pig-keepers. They made them welcome. "You can spare your welcome," Bothov's pig-keeper said. "We bring you only war wailing and a fullness of friends' corpses." "What have you been doing?" Bothov said. "Nothing good," he said. "From the day we left until today, we spent 2 full years together in the shape of birds. You saw what we did over there. A whole year went like that at Cruachan, and a year at the Sheath on Femin Plain, so that all men, north and south, have seen our power. Now we are going to take the shape of water creatures to live 2 years under the sea." They left, and each went his own way. One entered the Shinnan River, and the other the river Shearer. And they spent 2 full years under the water. One year they were seen devouring each other in the Shearer, and the next in the Shinnan. Next they turned into 2 stags, and each gathered up the other's herd of young deer and made a shambles of his dwelling place. Then they became 2 warriors, gashing each other. Then 2 phantoms, terrifying each other. Then 2 dragons, pouring down snow on each other's land. They dropped down then out of the air and became 2 maggots. One of them got into the spring of the river Cron in Cuailnge, where a cow belonging to Dair mac Fiachna drank it up. The other got into the wellspring Garad in Connacht, where a cow belonging to Maeve and Ailil drank it up. From then, in this way, sprang the 2 bulls, Finvanach, the white-horned, of Eye Plain, and Dove, the dark bull of Cuailnge. Rucht and Fruich were their names when they were pig-keepers. Ingen and Yete, talon and wing, when they were 2 birds of prey. Bled and Blood, whale and sea beast, when they were 2 undersea creatures. Rin and Favour, point and edge, when they were 2 warriors. Skach and Skiach, shadow and shield, when they were 2 phantoms. Cruachnach and Tuathnach, when they were 2 maggots. Finvanach the white, and Dove Cuailnge, the brown, were their names when they were 2 bulls. This was the brown bull of Cuailnge. Dark brown, dire, haughty, with young health, horrific, overwhelming, ferocious, full of craft, furious, fiery flanks, narrow, brave, brutal, thick-breasted, curly-browed head cocked high, growling and eyes glaring, tough-maned neck thick and strong, snorting mighty in muzzle and eye, with a true bull's brow, and a wave's charge, and a royal wrath, and the rush of a bear, and a beast's rage, and a bandit's stab, and a lion's fury. 30 grown boys could take their place from rump to nape. A hero to his herd at morning, foolhardy at the herd's head, to his cows the beloved, to the husbandmen a prop, the father of great beasts overlooks the ox of the earth. A white head and white feet had the bull Finvanach, and a red body the color of blood, as if bathed in blood, or dyed in the red bog, or pounded in purple, with his blank paps, under breast and back. His heavy mane and great hooves, the beloved of the cows of A, with ponderous tail and stallion's breast, and a cow's eye apple, and a salmon's snout and hinder haunch, he romps in rut, born to bear victory, bellowing in greatness, idol of the ox herd, the prime demon, Finvanach.